Hi everyone, welcome to Technology. On today's section, I'll be walking you through software testing. Alright, so let's go over and see what is software testing. Software testing is a part of software development lifecycle. It's the process of evaluating, verifying that a software product or application does what it's supposed to do. The benefit of testing include preventing bugs, reducing development costs, and improving performance. Basically, it's aimed to ensure that the code deployment is of high quality with no bugs and no logical errors. So basically, that's what we mean by software testing. You can imagine that you're working as a developer in a software company. As a developer, your role is to develop this application, put all the modules together, put all the language and the requirement together to build this application. And once the application is built, so it's going to send it down to the tester, who is an individual that tests software for bugs, error, or any problem that can affect the performance of computer software or application. And when the tester tests this application, and if the application is of high quality, application is going to be deployed to the production server. But if the application is not good enough, if error is being found in the application by the tester is going to send it back to the developer who's going to make the correction. So developer make a correction. If everything looks good, it's going to do the unit testing and all that. It's going to send it down to the tester. The tester is going to test the software to make sure everything works perfectly the way it's supposed to do. And if okay, it's going to be deployed to the production server. Every application must be tested because you can't just send application down there and the end user is going to be the one to find out if there's any error or bugs in it. Everybody want to release high quality application because that's the only way you can keep your customers. You have to make sure you test everything that is being combined and built together to make sure it's working as it's supposed to do before you can deploy to the production server. All right, so let's go over and talk about software testing classification. So types of testing, we have automatic testing and we have manual testing. So automatic testing, automated testing is a process that validates if software is functioning appropriately and meeting requirements before it's released into production. This software testing method uses scripted sequences that are executed by testing tool. Automated tests can run repeatedly at any time of the day. So these are the sequences that you set up automatically, and if anything happens, so this robot is going to do the testing based on the instruction that the developer already laid down in the POM XML file or in the script. And this can run repeatedly at any time all by itself, automatically without human intervention. All right, so let's go over and talk about manual testing. Basically, manual testing requires human intervention. Manual testing is especially suitable for assessing user interface, UI, and user experience, which is UX. It is self-explanatory. This is being tested manually. The tester have to test the user interface and see how the user experience behave. And that's what is going to use in writing reports. All right, so let's go over to type of testing methods. So we have two types of testing methods. We have static method and we have dynamic method. All right, so let's talk about these methods one after the other. Static testing is carried out with no different steps or technique, review and static analysis. Static review is typically carried out to find and remove errors and ambiguities found in supporting document. All right, so dynamic method. Dynamic testing technique is the type of testing that validates the functionality of an application when the code is executed by executing the code. In simple terms, dynamic testing is performed by actually using the application and seeing if a functionality works the way it's supposed to do and seeing if a functionality works the way it is expected to. So definitely, the dynamic testing, you have to test it to see how the application behaves. You have to test it to see how the application performs. If there's any error in it, it's going to be forward back or refer back to the developer to fix it and send it back. Everything must be tested in different forms to be sure that the end user is not going to have issue with it. All right, so let's go over and talk about types of testing approaches. We have a black box approach, we have a white box approach, we have a gray box approach. Black box testing is a software testing method in which the functionalities of software application are tested without having knowledge of internal code structure, implementation details, and internal path. So black box testing is when the tester do not know anything about what it's testing. It's just testing it blindly. This is mainly done by hackers or people trying to steal your resources. And white box approach. White box testing is an approach that allows tester to inspect and verify the inner working of a software system, its code, infrastructure, and integration with external systems. So white box testing is when the tester know what is testing. It knows the in and out of what is testing. It know the code, the infrastructure, integration, and every external dependencies. And this is done by mainly developers or somebody who have the full control of the application. So gray box approach. Gray box testing is an application security testing technique that mixes white box and black box testing. In a white box assessment, the tester has complete internal knowledge of the system being tested, the source code, design doc, and etc. So the gray box testing is when the tester partially know what is testing and half of it doesn't know. That's why it's gray box. All right, so let's go over and talk about testing levels. On testing levels, we have what is called unit testing, we have integration testing, we have system testing, we have acceptance testing. All right, so let's go over this testing one after the other. On unit testing is a level of software testing where individual units and components of software are tested. Every unit must be tested to be sure that it is okay before a developer will actually send it to either to the QA or to the tester. So every developer has to test the units and the components of what they're building to be sure that everything looks okay. So on the integration testing is a type of software testing in which the different units, modules, or components of a software application are tested as a combined entity. So that's when you integrate all the units and components together, you test them the way it's supposed to be. And on the system testing level, system testing means testing the system as a whole. All the modules and components are integrated in order to verify if the system works as expected or not. System testing is done after integration testing. This plays an important role in delivering a high-quality product. So let's talk about acceptance testing. Acceptance testing is a level of software testing where a system is tested for acceptability. The purpose of this system is to evaluate the system compliance with the business requirement and assess whether it is acceptable for delivery or not. So basically, these are all the testing levels, and I hope you understand. All right, so this brings us to the end of this session, guys, and I hope you learned. Thank you.